Welcome to Mecum's Gone Farmin' Vintage Tractor Auction, featuring the only classic tractor auction of its kind in the country. Today, some of the hardest to find tractors in the world will hit the auction block. So sit back and relax and enjoy Mecum's Gone Farmin' Vintage Tractor Auction.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Nashville, Tennessee. It's Mecum's Gone Farmin' Classic Tractor Auction. Max, this should be a fantastic day for auctioning off tractors.
Yeah, Mike, we've got beautiful weather and some great tractors lined up.
Well, there's lots of action coming up, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome back to Mecum's Gone Farmin' Country Classic here in Music City, USA. Let's get straight to the action.
This is a 1954 Farmall Super M. Now, this is an all-fuel.
Yeah, this one here, Super MTA all-fuel, has a torque amplifier in it. Very unusual to see a Super MTA all-fuel tractor. I think this is the first one we've seen here at a Mecum Gone Farming auction. By the time the MTA was built in 54, a lot of the all-fuel tractors have been kind of gone to the wayside. They were either strictly gas or diesel or propane fuel. So if I was going to pick it apart and say there were any flaws with it, about the only thing I see is it is on mismatched rear tires. But other than that, this tractor is just as straight, nice, paint on it's good. And like I said, it is marked here as it is selling no reserve.
Another opportunity for someone to get a great tractor at a great price, which is really what a lot of the people I know from this part of the country come here to Nashville for. They're thinking they're going to get a great deal. This is a great place to sell tractors, as we've always told you. But it is a great place to buy tractors as well. This craft is growing leaps and bounds across the country, as we've seen firsthand. And of course, the Mecum name pushing these vintage tractor classic auctions across the country. Really coming on now every few months. If you haven't seen a live show, you really want to make your way out to one of these to see it in person. And that one sells out at $4,100. That's going to bring us up to lot S20. Another John Deere. Looks a little bit bigger in the picture as it does as it makes its way across our block. This is a 420 with cultivators.
Yeah, this one also has the rare side dress attachment, which would have been used for side dressing fertilizer. Usually those fertilizer boxes get completely rotted out in their garbage, and this one here has a good fertilizer box on it. Does have the full front and rear rigs for the cultivator. Also has the front bumper on this one too. Does run nice, but it's a little bit older restoration. Tires on it are good. I was looking at this and I'm thinking, you know, for the little bit that I farm, this would be a nice little thing for me to have to side dress some fertilizer to my corn. So.
And just topping the $4,000 mark, and again, $4,250. Movement quickly on this no reserve John Deere. Looking to our right off of our announcer's desk, we see some of the movement in the back here. Some of the bidders have their eyes on this John Deere 420.
And of course, this is also a 420 Phase 2 tractor because it has that slanted steering wheel on it. So.
And it sells out at $4,600.
I'm here with Phil, and he just sold his tractor. Tell me, what did you sell?
I sold a 420 standard slant steer John Deere. It's a 58 model with the cultivators and everything on it.
Now you said there's some history to this tractor. What did you use it for?
I used to raise tobacco, and that was my cultivating tractor. And I don't raise tobacco anymore, so I decided to sell it.
All right. And how was your experience selling with Mecum?
I really had a real pleasant experience. Everybody's real nice, professional, and I may come back. I really enjoyed the sale.
Thank you so much. It was great talking with you.
All right, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to head back to Mike and Max.
That's going to bring an S21 as a Ford 8N. New tires all the way around. If you can hear it as it's pulling in, does have a V8 grafted into it.
Nice looking tractor. Love the color scheme.
And it is a Ford engine in there. It does have a Ford 302 V8 in it. Engine's been totally rebuilt and bored 20,000s over. Rebuilt carburetor and new radiator in it. So should be a good running little tractor here. Pretty nice paint on it.
And Massey Auctioneer trying to reach the $5,000 mark here. And he did reach the $5,000 mark. After he told him to start rolling it out, people started realizing their sand is running out of this hourglass.
Yep.
And they're going to close it out. The bid will go on, as it did not meet reserve. That's going to bring us to lot S22. This is one of those Cockshutt 30s. Tell us a little bit about this particular manufacturer, Max.
Well, Cockshutt, of course, they were a Canadian company. There were a few of them made them down in the U.S., but did not make it usually this far south. They were up in the northern prairie states and that. This one here with a nice restoration on it, does have the rear wheel weights on it. Of course, eventually Cockshutt ended up going in with Oliver and White Corporation. This one here selling at no reserve, Mike. You drive this one into a show, you're not going to be pulling into a group of about 50 or 60 other ones. There's going to be maybe a handful, or you may have the only Cockshutt at the show. So.
Seems to be a nice even mix between some of the red and some of the green.
Yep. Yeah,
mixed in with a few of the Ford models as well. And that's going to roll out at $2,500. As Max said, was a no reserve. Bringing us to lot S23. And this is a 1954 Massey-Harris 16 Pacer. This one again selling at no reserve.
Yeah, this one here, no reserve. The Pacer was one of the smaller tractors in the Massey-Harris lineup. Nice restoration on this. Does have new rear tires on it. There are only 2,700 of these tractors made, so a little bit on the rarer side. Engine rebuilt with new sleeves. Does come with the operator's parts and service manual for the tractor. So if something does go wrong with it down the road, you'd have all the books to figure out how to fix it, Mike.
And right in front of our booth, one of the bidders here expressing the fact that he does want this tractor. Bidding quickly each time it's volleyed back to him. And across the room, and he just announced to Aubrey he wants to hit the $2,400 mark. Still willing to go higher on this Massey-Harris 16 Pacer. And he's still going higher. He digging in here as his position is not going to waver. Seems to want this tractor pretty bad, and he's going up to $2,800 every time it's thrown back at him. Of course, he's letting the opposite side of the room know that I'm not giving up on this one. Obviously starting to reach his threshold here. He does want to get his hands on that tractor.
Yeah, and the bidder that we've got over here, I don't know, I don't think we'd even feel right, Mike. He's always standing right here in front of us at every auction. I think he's been right here by the podium, by our booth.
And he's let him know, I'm not giving up on this one. He's now hit the $3,200 mark. This is one of our more exciting volley sessions we've had here at Mecum Gone Farm and Country Classic in Nashville, Tennessee. Aubrey standing by her buyer closely. Almost like a heavyweight fight going back and forth. We're going to see who's going to And Audra sells it over at $3,200 for her buyer right here in front of our booth.
S24 is a nicely restored little John Deere H here. These little H's have been pretty popular. They're nice and easy to haul and easy to handle.
Great looking side shot there from our camera crew.
Does have new tires, it appears, all the way around on it, Mike. And of course the H, they were only made for a few years and then replaced by the John Deere Model M.
And of course they're standing right up front here as the sellers are watching all the action right from the bottom of the booth where Vance is. Of course, the seller standing there with the son, giving him the experience. And the reserve has just been lifted off of this tractor, saying they are going to sell it today, hoping to get a little bit more movement. Sitting right now at, I believe, $3,400 as it slowly works its way off of the block. And he sells it off at $3,400.
And that's going to bring in lot S25 as a 1958 John Deere 430W. This one here, another beautiful restoration on this one, Mike. And this is from the Glen Sigmon collection. This has a complete set of wheel weights, power steering, PTO. Does have 3-point hitch on the rear of it with new Firestone tires and new seat and lights. Very nice tractor here.
And of course, those of you that have been tuning in to the Gone Farmin auction shows, you know that this particular tractor is the start of the Glen Sigmon collection. One of the things we've been advertising and letting people know, these are no reserve, great collection of John Deere's.
Yeah, every one of them's been restored very nicely. And he brought them to sell. He letting them go no reserve. This one here, I believe, just hit the $7,000 mark.
Nice looking tractor. Obviously, it's going to bring a higher dollar value. Just the start of this collection. Something a lot of these folks have come many miles to see.
Yeah, this one here does have wheel weights on all four corners, plus it does have that front slab weight.
And another bidder right in front, Audra's way here, as she is working this crowd, getting right in front of them and making sure that she's pulling out every dollar these bidders have to offer.
As we got Lance there, a good auctioneer can always tell when that person's still got one more shot
and
left.
They're
in
going
them.
back and forth here like a ping pong match now. Here goes this price, starting to hit, trying to reach up to the $11,000 mark.
Wow, Mike, and that, just like a couple of heavyweight fighters there, all of a sudden that was a flurry of shots back and forth.
And Audra brings her bidder to the winner's circle there with that one.
And that's going to bring in S26 as a 1960 John Deere 435 diesel. This one, of course, also from the Glen Sigmon collection. This one here with the spin-out wheels does have the deluxe fenders on it with 3-point. Does have the PTO on it with a chrome stack. So once again, another beautifully restored tractor here.
No detail left untouched on this one, Max, as it obviously makes its way out here. It's already got a lot of movement here in front of our truck, just now reaching north of $10,000. Again, each one of these tractors in this collection going out for no reserve. That means there's been no ceiling set on these at all. Each one will find a new home today. And it has reached the $10,000 mark, now trying for $10,005. It just got it, now reaching for 11.
And these 435 diesel tractors have been selling pretty well at the last few auctions, and this one here, of course, not to be outshined by any of the other ones that we've sold. So.
And reaching his limit here in front of our booth. And reaching out Travis's way, sells at $10,700.
Yeah, and that's going to bring in S27 as a John Deere 440i, a 1959 model. This one here has been professionally restored, selling at no reserve. Once again, another one from the Glen Sigmon collection.
Little different color here, Max, than we're probably used to. Of course, this is the John Deere on the yellow side.
And this one here does have the 3-point hitch. It's missing the third link. Does have PTO and headlights. And as I mentioned before, I believe I mentioned it was all new Firestone tires all the way around. So a good opportunity here. A lot of these industrial tractors did not survive. They got the daylights beat out of them. And this one here, evidently a guy has just gone through and really either pounded all them dents out, or we had one that was a low-hour unit and didn't get abused. But
of course, you've been tuning into our show for a while. Max kind of give you an explanation of why they've colored that one yellow versus the traditional John Deere green.
Well, and what it is, it's a 440. That was when Deere was just starting to get into the industrial market, exclusively making tractors for construction and industrial use. This one here may have had a loader on it, or may have been used by a landscaper for doing some work, maybe digging basements or whatever. And being a wheeled type tractor, usually they were used mowing. It'd be at a golf course or a township or a county road department was where this tractor be. It's purpose-built heavier in order to handle the strains of working in the industrial side of things. So.
And as always, my co-host Max Wilson with a plethora of information about each and every one of these tractors, bringing it to you weekly, every Tuesday, every Saturday on RFD-TV. We certainly want to thank all of our viewers, and we also want to thank our sponsors, Max. Of course, we have Steiner Tractor Parts, Shocker Hitch, Heritage Iron, CF Struck, and many others that help bring this auctions like this to our viewers. And that's going to bring us up to lot S28, which is a 1959 John Deere 730 diesel.
And this one here,
beautiful track.
Yeah, 730 standard diesel. This does have original rear Rice tires on it. Does have 3-point hitch. Does have a chrome stack on it. Is electric start. Does have front weights, power steering, and new Firestone front tires. A very beautiful restoration, as you were saying, Mike. This thing here is just jaw-dropping as you get some of the shots there at the back end of this tractor and see them deep lug Rice and Cane tires that are on it.
And sitting at $12,500, trying to reach the $13,000 mark.
And they're not working very hard at getting bids on this tractor here. When they're gorgeous like this, and it's something a little bit unusual with that Rice equipment on a 730 diesel standard.
And she does her job by bringing in $15,200. And he's still going to make his way as she's got a hand on her bidder here. I think a little bit of the testosterone might kick in here, saying, you're not going to outbid me. I'm going to keep going. We're going to see how high we can get it. And as Audra doing her job out there, still bringing the money to the table. And still sitting just shy now of $17,000. Recognizing the value here in this no reserve tractor. As Max said, this is certainly one of the nicer ones to hit the block so far. He still won't be outdone with Audra's way, bringing it to $17,250.
And I believe Dan is going over there to kind of get in on the action on the other side of the room and see what's going on there. Now I think he's walking back this way.
And it solds over Audra's way for $17,250. Those are always fun to watch, Max, as they kind of go back and forth there. That's going to bring us to lot S29. This is a 1956 John Deere 60 LP now. Obviously with that propane tank with that unique look.
Yep.
As our camera's going to get a great shot across the top here.
Yeah, as they give you a shot there, of course the propane tractors, they are pretty much undeniable when you see them. There's part of the hood missing and a big round tank where the fuel tank or the gas tank would have been on a John Deere 60. This one here again from the Glen Sigmon collection, selling at no reserve. Does have the 800 series 3-point hitch on it. New Firestone tires all the way around. Power steering. Does have a new tachometer on it. Very nicely restored tractor, and of course one of our feature tractor here, besides being in one of our featured collections. And this thing here does have the front weight set on. Those weights have been done where they're so smooth it feels like they're made out of tin. I'm sure you probably get a rude awakening if you take them off and think they are made out of tin and you drop it on your toe, but.
And I guarantee you this is not going to sit at this price long. I think people here might be playing a little bit of possum because they don't realize what they have in front of them here.
Yeah, this is a beautiful restoration on this tractor, and even with that chrome straight pipe on it, you could hardly hear the thing when they pulled it in.
$4,000, $4,100. Anybody else want it? Go once. Here we go. How many want it? You want it? You get it? 41 2. $4,200, 4,400.
And as we listen to Vance, our auctioneer, understanding the value of what's rolling across the block.
45, 4,405.
Still squeezing more out of these bidders here. This capacity room in Nashville, Tennessee. And it's going to sell out at $4,400. Max, that's going to bring us to lot S30, which is a John Deere H. Pretty straightforward here. Again, part of the Glen Sigmon collection.
Yeah, and this little H here, beautiful restoration on it. Another one selling no reserve from the Glen Sigmon collection. This one here does have fenders on it with the PTO. It is a hand start tractor. I actually got to be around this tractor a little bit as it ran yesterday, and it ran out very nice. Brand new tires all the way around on this tractor also, I believe. Looks like brand new Firestones. Got a little bit of a shot there to looking over the right-hand fender and across that operator's platform.
Of course, we have a back and forth right now. As the pressure being applied to some of these buyers, trying to loosen up their arm right now, realizing that they're starting to roll it slowly off the block. A lot of times, Max, it's just a matter of taking a look and seeing what the other bidder's going to do.
Who said yes? Who said yes? Now $4,000.
We just got one more bid in there at the end.
And I believe this is going to be the final tractor rolling through on the Glen Sigmon collection.
Now 41, now 41, now 4,100, 4,100, you want that? Now 4,002, now 4,002, 102,
We've got Dan over here working with Audra.
And they're going to sell it out at $4,100, bringing us to the final tractor in our Glen Sigmon collection, all sold at no reserve. And that's going to bring us to lot S30.1, which is a John Deere 620 standard.
And this one here, pretty much in her work clothes yet, does have new tires all the way around. The fenders are nice and straight on it. Does have the chrome straight pipe on it. Pretty straight, honest looking tractor here. And of course, anyone who's followed us knows this is how I like finding my tractors, or in this in their work clothes, or pretty close to original condition.
If you were to venture over to Max's farm up in Wisconsin there, he certainly does love his tractors. I believe we've even had a chance to feature your farm on some of our
some of our banners do have a picture right now of what my farm looks like in the summer when the weeds are tall enough you can't hardly see the tractors, but I do have a few of them that sit out in the weeds. So we're at a $5,400 bid on this original or work clothes 620 standard. Does have a 3-piece front weight set on it.
And it's going to sell out at $5,500.
We've got a S32 is a 1938 John Deere G. This one here is a low radiator, Unstyled G. Does have the round spokes all the way around, real early production.
Of course, one of my favorite styles of the John Deere, the way that it's laid out from behind, and obviously the spoke wheels. It's a little different design, but I just think it shows off a little more Americana.
Yeah, and of course back then these tractors were built for function, not form. It was a matter of getting the job done. It wasn't a matter of what it looked like, but it definitely has become one of the iconic looking tractors in the history of John Deere, as any of the Unstyled tractors with the round spokes or the spoke wheels on them. This one here does have brand new rubber all the way around. And our auctioneer up there, Lance, just announcing that the reserve has come off of this tractor. Just as we're hitting the 11,500 mark.
And wasting no time as they roll it. And he sells this one quick at $11,500.
It's been a great day here at Mecum's Gone Farmin' in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm here with Zeke, and what's your story?
I'm the president of Tennessee Valley Pioneer Power Association, and Mecum actually asked us to help and assist in driving some of these tractors through because, of course, you know, there's 150 of them here. That's just quite a bit to drive through, so we just were thrilled to come in and help with y'all helping these tractors get on through for the auction and actually get our name out there too as our organization.
What do you think about Mecum bringing an auction like this to Nashville?
It's great for everybody in this area, especially us, because our club actually gets our name out too, and they learn a little bit more about us, and through our website, hopefully they'll learn a little bit more, which is eagletvppa.com. Please go visit it, and please be a part of our September show. But this is great for our area, the antique environment, especially for the younger people learning about all this antique stuff. A lot of the younger people don't know a lot about it, but it helps out a whole lot. The community, the atmosphere, the event here. A lot of people come from really, really far away, and they do also come to our show from very far distances too. So it's great for all of us.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank y'all.
All right, we're going to send it back to the block.
And that's going to bring us into a John Deere 530 all-fuel, Max.
Yeah, and this here, another beautiful restoration. Does have the factory wide front on it. This is one of 29 1960 530 all fuels built. So very low production numbers. This one here, brand new tires all the way around on it. Like I said, the factory wide front, deluxe fenders, and the 3-point hitch on it. And this is the start of our John Deere 40 series and all fuel collection. I believe this is 9 or 10 tractors all coming from the same home, and almost all of them have been gone through stem to stern and really done right. So as we're looking right now at $20,000 bid on this 530. And while they're still going at the $20,000 mark on this 530 all fuel, one of 29 built in 1960.
And the bid's going to go on there. I believe we might have been close, but the bid is going to go on that John Deere 530 all fuel.
S34 is a 1959 John Deere 630 all fuel.
That's going to bring us to lot S34, which is a 1959 John Deere 630 all fuel.
And this one here coming from that 40 series and all fuel collection. This is one of 120 630 all fuels built. This one here, pretty well optioned tractor also. Does have the factory wide front and three-piece weight set. Does have the 3-point hitch on the rear. It looks like minus the third link. Does have a little bit smaller rear tire on the back of it than we're used to seeing on the 630s, but with the deluxe fenders, really dresses this tractor up.
And already reaching the $11,000 mark, trying to reach the $12,000, and just did. As they're trying to reach the $13,000 mark.
And like I said, another beautifully restored tractor, and we've got a lot of them coming through here today that they are beautifully restored. No scratches, no blemishes. All the dents have been pounded out and leveled out. New tires on a lot of them, so.
And they're starting to roll it out. And they're going to close it out at 12.5 as the bid goes on. Talking about Americana, Max, here comes a 1932 John Deere GP WT top steer with 2 roll cultivators. This gives you the full color scheme of the green, yellow, and red combination, famously made by John Deere.
Yeah, and when I saw this tractor come up on the list of lots for this auction, I was real excited to see this. It's not something you get to see every day, especially with the cultivator on it. And then it's a GP wide tread top steer.
Obviously one of the featured tractors here at the show. And just reaching over, well, now reaching $27,000.
And of course this one here, one of 44 built, I believe that'd be with the top steer. GP wide treads, I think they were right around 340 built. This one has newer brake shoes, manifold and PTO, new paint, decals, lugs, and gas lines.
Yep.
This was the first over-the-hood style type steering for John Deere tractors. And this has been new inside and out restoration on it. comes with the radiator grill, the front screen and curtain for it. As we are at 27.5 on this tractor right now. Does have a set of road bands on it, so you can parade this tractor on the asphalt, but also keeps the restored lugs from being all chewed up from driving.
Audra scanning the crowd, looking for anybody still interested as they roll this tractor out. And they're going to close the bidding out on that one at $27,500. And that's going to bring us up to the next 1950 Oliver 77 Standard. Not a speck of rust on this one.
No, this one here, beautiful restoration, does have that canopy on it. This one here, engine's been overhauled, new tires and gauges. Does have the straight chrome stack on it. Paint is real nice with a clear coat finish. Rebuilt carburetor and magneto. Does have the 6-cylinder in it. This is one of our feature tractors, very beautifully restored.
I'm noticing on this one, Max, we're not towing a lot of these tractors in this time. They're all coming in with their own steam.
We're doing pretty good here so far. We haven't had any of these tractors come down with stage fright and have to be pulled through. So.
And he finally lifts the reserve on this 1950 Oliver 77. Sitting now just north of $5,000, trying to spur on the last interest bid-wise on this great opportunity here. And here comes some late action. Here it comes. Audra controlling both bidders right now, back and forth. Quickly moved its way up over $6,000 to the $6,500 mark, I believe. And it's going to sell out at $6,500 right in front of our booth, Audra's way.
And that's going to bring up lot S37 as a 1959 John Deere 430 high crop. One of 212 430 high crops built. This one here also has factory power steering. PTO does have front weight on it. So another very beautifully restored John Deere coming through here, and on the rare side of things with 212 total production.
You just watch me. I've been practicing for 33 years to sell this tractor. You watch me. I'm going to give somebody 20 pounds.
And Vance having a little fun, saying that he is absolutely going to sell this 1959 John Deere 430 high crop. Trying to reach the $12,500 mark. Of course, these high crops always seem to bring a pretty penny at our auctions.
And of course, production numbers on the high crops were a lot lower than any of the other models. And of course, when you get it into the right crowd here, of course, some people like collecting just the high crop variations of models. So.
Only one of 212 made.
And beautifully restored, and I'm sure that number gets a little bit different too if you start factoring in it does have the factory power steering on it. So.
And reaching the $13,000 mark. And it starts to roll out the tractor slowly. Settling in at just about $13,000. Now reach the $13,250, and now trying to reach the $14,000 mark. And the bid's going to go on there. That's going to bring us to lot S38. Good looking restored tractor. This is a John Deere 1010U diesel.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
call it a 1010U.
Yeah, it's a 1010U. 1010 utility diesel, one of 353 1010 utility diesels made. And of course, these little tractors, they have a diesel in them, and then to have one that survived is even more unusual. These things had a tendency to kind of shake themselves apart.
And of course, wasting no opportunity to shine up their tractor for the block. Looks like they've put that armor all on the side of the tractor tires as it makes its way in.
Yeah, and this one here is sporting a new engine overhaul. Transmission has been redone. Does have rear weights, and it is showing 3,543 actual hours on it. 3-point wood drawbar. It does have the PTO on it with a cigarette lighter. Complete repaint and showroom quality. So sounds like the work's done here on a pretty rare little 1010 utility diesel. Does give the serial number on here of 1010U 11796. So
only one of 353. The 1010 utilities diesels were made. Max alluded to.
$10,000. At $10,000, the reserve is off and the tractor is sold. If he wants to raise his bid to $10,000, reserve is off, sold. Not $10,000, reserve is off, sold. $10,000, reserve is off, sold. $10,000. Thank you, everybody. Sold.
And they lift the reserve at the last minute and sell the tractor out for $10,000. Max, here comes one of these big boys rolling through here. This is what we're used to seeing at some of these auctions. Of course, we have the International 826 Gold Demonstrator. This is a big boy. This is one of the big ones running through.
Yeah, these here were, I think, just a little bit over like 110, 120 horse. And of course, the gold paint indicated that was a demonstrator for the dealerships to send out to Mr. Farmer, let him use a little bit. This one here sporting new Firestones all around, and as it was rolling by here, the paint on this thing is just breathtaking. Shave in the paint. The finish on this paint is just unbelievable. So as we get a good shot there at the hood and coming down along the side, and then that Farmall 826 emblem.
That's a great camera shot, as there's a lot of movement on this one already, a lot of action across the floor and in this arena here in Nashville, Tennessee. We want to thank everyone watching this via RFD-TV. Of course, I'm your host, Mike Holland, along with Max Wilson, knowing everything there is to know about any kind of tractor. I challenge you to try to stump Max. I don't think you can do it. And it's going to sell out here at $17,500. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's show. On behalf of myself, Mike Holland, Max Wilson, and of course our field reporter, Amanda Trudell, we want to thank everyone for watching us right here on RFD-TV. We'll see you next time.